A cock blocker. First of all, let's define cock blocker. These are two cocks, two fighting cocks. And if you want to put it in your own definition, you know what cocks are. So two fighting cocks fighting over something. And this is what it is. Fighting over that woman. The power of women. It all goes back to that. That's what the cocks are fighting about. That is the prize. You're waiting to approach her and talk to her. You've been waiting and wondering when is that right time to approach her, to talk to her, to tell her your true feelings. But when you do it, you're afraid because that cock blocker can come around and stop that. You want to go ahead and propose. You want that right time. You want to make sure there's no distractions. I'm looking at her. Is it that time to approach her and let her know how I feel about her? But look, that cock blocker is watching. He's watching my every move. I have to be careful because if I move wrong or if I approach that lady, he's going to be right there to stop it. Cock blockers watch you 24/7. Cock blockers are always around. They're watching you through the windows, around the corner, across the field, across the parking lot. When you're sitting there having that engaging conversation with that woman you really like, that cock blocker is going to stop that. That cock blocker just stopped him. Look at him. And now he has that woman's attention. That cock blocker. When I'm sitting there and I'm giving her all my Mac moves and I'm talking to her, that cock blocker is going to be right there. Look at that. He's sitting there wondering why did cock blocker take her from me? Well, he did. He went in there and said something that you couldn't say. Now she's turning her head wondering, man, is that true what that cock blocker said about this guy I like? The cock blocker always comes in between the relationship. So is it the woman's choice to choose? Because usually it can lead to this violence. Because after a while, the cock blocker, like the two cocks fighting at the beginning, they're going to fight over that woman. They're going to want to punch each other out. That's why it's called cockfighting. But the cock blocker is going to stop you. They're going to hold you down. You're not going to be able to run over to that woman. And cock blocker come in two different forms, male and female people. I'm not just talking about males. I'm talking about female cock blockers too. But the main thing, it can lead to destruction. It can lead to fist fights. It can lead to separation of friends, breaking up of friends, fighting over that woman, the power of a woman. So they punch each other over that woman that they're fighting over. The cock blocker. And it gets serious, people. These two were best friends. But because the one on the left likes that one so much, the cock blocker steps in. But he's not having it. He's going to grab his tie. He's like, look, leave us alone. I'm talking to her. Don't interfere. I even saw one day in a parking lot pulling into the store at Target. Two people were going to kick each other. I said, oh my goodness. Cock blocking is a serious offense in men's world, people. The man is looking like, how in the world did he step in between us? We were just sitting there having an engaging conversation. And that cock blocker stopped it. And I'm looking like, what happened? Now she seemed like she likes him. So what do? Do you just walk away? I mean, the cock blocker is telling me all kind of things about that person. You're listening. Because that cock blocker is sitting there giving info over the phone to even stop you. The cock blocker has many different ways. So you're listening. You're listening to what the cock blocker's done. The cock blocker said you have 5 kids. The cock blocker says you're married. The cock blocker says you don't have a chance. The cock blocker is always going to be there. The cock blocker is going to throw salt on your game. The cock blocker is always watching every move you do. So never think you're away from the cock blocker. The cock blocker's watching you. He has his binoculars and he's making sure when is the right time to strike. Because I want to make sure he don't take that woman Belinda away from me. So the cock blocker's listening. So when you get ready to move in for that kiss, that cock blocker's going to come around that pole and be ready. Cock blocking is a serious deal. I mean, cock blockers are getting smart. They're even dressing up as detectives now. So getting away from the cock blocker is going to be hard. So you have to point them out. Hey, you, I'm not taking it anymore. You are not going to move in on me. You got to scream. You got to grit your teeth. Hey, I'm not taking this anymore. The cock blocker is always around hiding in the bushes looking for that opportunity to step in and stop your action. You may even be ready to fight. I mean, does it get that serious when you're ready to fist fight the cock blocker? It has happened. Fights after fights after fights, and sometimes it leads to violence. You pull out that gat, ready to shoot the guy because he was interfering in your love affair. I mean, fighting. You just losing your mind, swinging on everybody. I mean, do you have to actually stop the person and tell them, hey man, stop doing this? Would that work? Actually walking up to the cock blocker and telling them, hey, what's your problem, dude? I mean, would that stop it? Or will the woman actually be the one that needs to stop it? Because the power of the woman controls all this. I mean, look at that. Even her best friend just cock blocked her. Now she's sitting there by herself while her friend is taking her man. He's looking at the text message this cock blocker is sending her, telling her, hey, he's married. Or, hey, look at this. My friend just moved in with a drink and took my man. I mean, what is she laughing at? The cock blocker saying, hey, he has a small wee-wee. Is that why she's laughing? Cock blockers are always sending the woman texts about you to stop you from getting ahead. This man here murdered his best friend, 25 to life, because that friend cock blocked his relationship. That cock blocker is going to be on the curb, listening, telling the person info on you. So what do we do about it? He's telling all the salt and info on you. How many kids you got, where you live, if you're married or not, whatever. So what you do, you have to be cool. Just lay low. Be yourself. Do your thing. And if that woman wants you because you're a great personality, then hey, that's the woman for you. But if not, then hey, let the cock blocker go ahead and take her, because usually that cock blocker is not going to be like you. You're the one with the flowers. You're the one with the personality. You're the one that's worth keeping. So hey, if that woman's smart, she's not going to go with the cock blocker. She's going to go with you. This is 8 Dog Productions with another message. See you later in our next video that's coming up. Bye-bye.